It's the last business day for the week. Welcome to Business Incorporated. I'm Chimezie Obi Iwawan. Thank you for joining us. Coming up on the show, Nigeria eyes $2.5 billion Eurobond sale the first quarter to refinance local debt. And IMF's Lagarde welcomes Zimbabwe's Mnangagwa's promise to revive the economy. Plus, activists in Kenya say the world should forget Davos as Kenya's Dandora summit holds key to inequality problems. Let's get started now with the markets. And here on the African continent, the Nigerian stock market rebounded at intraday after 4 days of bearish run this week. As at midday, the all-share index was up 0.37%, outperforming its peers. JSE index was down 0.11%, and Egypt, though closed, was down 0.17% on Thursday. Kenya closed in the green, 0.62% up on Thursday. And stock markets in the Middle East are closed today for the weekend, but we're all in the green on Thursday. Saudi Arabia edged up 0.57%, with the top Saudi petrochemical producer climbing after acquisition news. It agreed to acquire 24.99% stake in sweet specialty chemicals maker Clarent, becoming the sweets company's largest shareholder. In Qatar, the index rose 1.08% as Mased Petrochemical surged 3.3%, and drilling rig provider Gulf International Services gained 2.4% in active trade. Both companies could benefit from the rise of the Brent oil price to a new 3-year high above $70 a barrel. Dubai's index was up 0.15%, with most stocks trading narrowly, although real estate firm Daya, the most heavily traded stock, climbed 2.3%. In Abu Dhabi, the index went up 0.35%. ADNOC distribution rose 1.5% after saying it would open 13 new petrol stations in the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia this year. In Europe, stocks posted modest gains in early trade on the last trading day of the week ahead of a speech by President Donald Trump in Davos, Switzerland. Let's track some of the comments in Davos with Ulrich Bartz. Hello, Ulrich. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hi there.
Now, the DW Director General was part of a panel discussion in Davos on Thursday, chatting to the question, how can EU leaders reinvigorate Europe? Any answers to this million-euro question?
Yeah, it's $1 million question, and there are probably a million answers. But let me just single out a few of the answers that I saw there. From the Netherlands Prime Minister Mark Rutte, he says that the European single market should be expanded beyond its role at the moment to include digital products, to include energy, to include services, capital, and that would create 4 million new jobs. And also, die Leitung ist weg. I hear that we are no longer on board.
All right. Okay. Now, U.S. President Trump says his administration wants a stronger dollar, while Treasury Secretary Mnuchin on Wednesday says it's a weaker dollar. On whose table does the dollar really stop? We seem to have lost Ulrich there, but we'll hope to get back to him as soon as we are able to do that. In the U.S., stock index futures rose ahead of the trading on Friday. On the last trading day of the week, earnings and data are expected to move sentiment. U.S. gross domestic product data is set to keep investors on edge, with the GDP data set to come out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, along with the durable goods orders data. Investors will be poring over the figures to see if it provides any clues as to how the U.S. economy is faring. President Donald Trump is scheduled to speak at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. While it is not known that what Trump will discuss at the annual meeting, analysts have suggested he could mention topics including terrorism, trade, the economy, and the America First strategy. Well, I guess Ulrich is back with us. Now, Ulrich, thank you very much for joining us again. Well, that's the work of technology there. Yeah, we're talking about U.S. President Trump's comment on the stronger dollar and, of course, the Treasury Secretary's comment on the same dollar. Now the question is on whose table does the dollar really stops?
I think the table that it stops at, where the buck stops, is Donald Trump's table. He's the president, and he's the people his administration serves, and serves at his pleasure. And if Stephen Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary, says that the dollar should go weaker, and Trump says the dollar should go stronger, well, then it's Trump's course, of course, that has the day. Having said that, I'm sure that people in the market are wondering, I'm wondering, did Mnuchin say the wrong thing? Is the administration really interested in a strong dollar, or is it not, as a Treasury Secretary formulated, perhaps in the administration's declared, said, formulated, projected interest to make the dollar weaker? Trump talked the dollar back up, but the question remains, of course, is that really what the U.S. is gunning for? The market is ready to believe at the moment Donald Trump, and that's logical, but this glitch, and I would almost question whether it's a glitch, is something that I think will be talked about in the market for the next few days at least.